bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come to your house.
This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. Now, I'm asking the mayor and the county council president and the county council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio in Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I read an article that kind of disturbed me. It was on newsone.com, and I had to pontificate about it. So here goes. By the way, if you have any comments, talk and text line is 833-212-1017 is the actual number. And so two writers asked the question, is it time to, now this wasn't me, so don't get all upset or mad or, all the cops out there. So, is it time to rethink police traffic stops? So, it was written by Derek Epp and Megan Diaz. The from the University of Texas at Austin. They stated in an article posted February 3rd, 2023 on newsone.com. They say their research suggests that law enforcement traffic stops are prone to racial bias and cause harm to communities and individuals disproportionate to any benefit that they bring. They say that's what their research suggests. Now, two researchers, right? I kind of did a cursory look, who really don't know anything about law enforcement, traffic stops, police training, yet bash vicariously through their research with really little or no firsthand knowledge, just information and data. Well, statement number one. Some things that caught my eye. We have analyzed a data set of more than 20 million traffic stops as a part of research into the effectiveness of this routine part of police life, which there is no such thing as a routine traffic stop. That's a dumb, idiotic, stupid statement that people make. I'm not calling them dumb, stupid, or idiotic. I'm talking about when people say routine. No traffic stop is the same. No one is alike. Anyway, what we have found is that even by its own standards, the return on this high contact form of policing is slim. And they said it rarely leads to criminal convictions and charges. Moreover, the negative consequences are far-reaching. Law enforcement traffic stops are prone to racial bias and cause harm to communities and individuals disproportionate to any other benefit that they bring, our research suggests. Statement number two that jumped out. Some of these stops are for legitimate public safety reasons. Drunken drivers, for example, are an obvious risk to other road users. But police officers have huge discretion I guess not to be confused with small discretion. I don't know what that means. When it comes to conducting traffic stops for a whole slew of traffic infractions, from a broken taillight to speeding. They can also, in most states, initiate a traffic stop as a pretext to investigating other crimes. What do you mean pretext? Didn't explain it in the comment. Just said the right was confirmed by the Supreme Court in 1996 in Wren v. United States. The ruling stated that it is not unconstitutional for officers to use any traffic violation, no matter how minor, as the reason to search the vehicle for other suspected crimes. For example, the possession of illegal drugs if they have probable cause or reasonable cause. The problem, I'm not going to get into the statement. Let me just move on. Statement number 3 they made is, while the effectiveness of traffic stops as a tool to apprehend serious criminals appears tenuous at best, what is clear is that pulling over drivers has potential for negative, sometimes violent outcomes, especially for drivers. Ms. Diaz and Mr. Epp, a couple suggestions. Number 1, there is absolutely nothing routine about a traffic stop. No two are the same. So when you use terminology that you heard from other people, and most police officers will tell you that a traffic stop, there's nothing routine about it, guess what? You should probably stop. B, all Black people are stopped in Black neighborhoods. Hispanic people are stopped in Hispanic neighborhoods. Whites in white neighborhoods. My point. When I worked in Milwaukee, District 6, throughout my 24-year, 1-month career with the Milwaukee Police Department, I arrested, ticketed, and fought more with white people even after I worked on the north side and downtown in District 7 and District 3. And then I went downtown to District 1. I mean, I know it's anecdotal, but it kind of proves my point. C, there has to be other things present, like the smell of marijuana, movement, gun, seeing that there are so many other things that go into a traffic stop and going beyond to search a vehicle, that for you to isolate that one thing, it's ridiculous. You can even have a third-party call and say, hey, I think that guy over there is doing something. And we can go check. And then after checking, if we see something, then we can act on it. We smell marijuana. The person has articulable furtive movement where they're moving, that looks like they're trying to hide something. They throw something out the window that might be drugs. Like, all those things count. D, to think that an officer in today's litigious video and social media laden society would be stupid enough to do something, well, stupid. I can point you to at least 5 Memphis officers and a couple of Milwaukee police officers who found out the hard way that don't work. That when you do dumb stuff, you should go to jail, especially if it's criminal. E, the potential for negative, sometimes violent outcome was brought about during traffic stops by police and slavery and racism by white people. But then finally, traffic stops rarely lead to criminal charges or convictions because it is about the one thing we in society want. Because traffic stops are discretionary, in many instances, the majority of cops, unless they're on a Safe Street initiative where they're trying to mitigate something like reckless driving or speeding, all want the same thing: compliance.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee's new favorite station.
Clear. Question. No, actually, you can't, because that was a question and you asked it. So
Coming with straight truth.
People actually think that, again, you said compliance. They don't have power. But if you
you said you don't like when he says clear.
don't vote, you still have power because you pay taxes.
Bringing all the smoke to you.
That's why I say stop listening to the I have a dream speech or the fake Barack Obama accent and look at the results.